Lower over here.
All right, I think we're live. Good morning, everybody. So this is for those of you that want to have some support with your workout, or you just want to have a little bit of that body doubling accountability. I was literally talking to someone yesterday about this, one of my clients, that was like, dude, it's crazy how effective body doubling is. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with the term, it basically just means you literally do stuff with other people, either in the room or on a video call. So like me and Rosie are going to work out. Yeah, Rosie. And if you guys want to either save this to bookmark and come back or just do it along with us, this will be a follow along version, meaning you can follow along the actual workout we're doing. I'll walk us through it, but you can also just do your own workout, and there's an added layer of accountability to that. Also, I'm just mixing up my pre-workouts here. I got my Lion's Mane fresh cut powder. We're gonna throw that in with some water, and then I'm gonna knock back my Magic Mind, and I've got coffee going. So this is like a very high sim morning, a very like intense, just because of the day I have in front of me. I'm sure you guys can relate. Rosie, how about you? Can you relate? What'd you do? What was your pre-workout routine here?
So I kind of like I just had coffee, but I kind of like rotate. I have some of like the Lime Mane supplements, and I have a pre-workout, but I forgot what the name is. So I kind of rotate. Like yesterday was insane because I literally had like 3 events and was just like on the go. So today I have something else later on today, but it's not as booked, but I have a lot of work to get done. So I know like I still have to like power through. So we'll see what else I end up taking through the day. Once the afternoon gets here.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna make this, it's gonna be about a 30-45 minute workout. That's kind of the goal, is to like have it kind of somewhat condensed, not too crazy, but effective. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get warmed up first. I have a weighted vest on. You guys don't need the weighted vest. I just like to have that for an added warm-up component. I'm gonna change the camera angle. What I wanted to try today, and I want to see if you're down with this, Rosie, is we're gonna do a little martial arts inspired movement. How does that sound?
I'm open to anything.
So what that means is you don't actually have to have a like martial arts or fighting background. I'm just going to slightly change the angle here so you guys can kind of see. But what the thing we're focusing on is from our hips to our shoulders. So in traditional like Muay Thai style, you use your legs to block kicks as well as to actually be offensive and kick. What we're going to do is we're going to pull a reference from that to get our hips and our body temperature warmed up and firing. So what that means is we're going to be in kind of like a neutral stance. So you guys don't have to worry about like your fight stance, anything like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep our hands up more or less by our head. And we're going to bring our elbows to our knees. The caveat to this is when you bring your knee up, I want your elbow to go on the outside. So Rosie, as we bring it up, we're just bringing it up. And really what this is going to do, it's going to be considered a check. So if someone's trying to kick you, you can block it. We're doing it for our hips and our warm up. So we're going to basically do a 30-second march where we just go march, march, and march. All right. So I'm just going to kind of come in, see how that's looking. Boom. Let me give it. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's beautiful. So we're going to do that for 30 seconds. Ready? Let's get the timer going and let's rock it. So again, we're going 30 seconds. And the first couple times, I want you to just kind of get the feeling which you already got. And then as you're getting more and more comfortable, we can start to pick the pace up. We can go a little bit faster. You can start to bounce even. I'm not going to bounce because the entire floor in this bedroom will probably shatter if I'm bouncing too hard. I don't want to go.
I have some shelving that might come down if I get too crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just using this again. The goal here is that, like, if I'm looking at my watch here, I can check my heart rate. I'm at about 90 beats per minute. The goal is to get over 100. And the progression is to, again, warm our body up temperature-wise, but also actually increase our blood flow and get our hips and our core fired up. So we got about 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. So let's just kind of shake that out. How'd that feel, by the way, Rosie? Any pain, any discomfort?
No, like it feels different, but it doesn't hurt. Like
good. Okay. And then what's up, Mitchell? What's up, my life? I see you guys. Hey in the chat. And yeah, if you guys want to say hey, feel free to drop it, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, or follow along. What we're going to do now is we're going to move those hips through a different range of motion. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show it to you from 2 angles. We're going to pick our leg up, step back like we're stepping over a fence, tap the ground, bring it back. We're going to do that for 30 seconds, just on the right leg. Now I'm going to get a little bit closer so I can kind of see what you got going on. Yeah, that's perfect, Rosie. You know what's up. And again, this is a way we can just kind of move our hips through a particular range of motion and multiple planes.
What?
Oh, hello, dog. It's not a live stream workout without the doggies in the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody's got to interrupt.
3, 2, 1, and time. Let's switch those sides. We're going to do the same thing on the left side now. So again, we're bringing it up, bringing it back, and circling. Again, we got 30 seconds on the clock. Good. And again, notice if even from A, we have a balancing leg that's holding us up. So see how the balance feels. And then we're going to also notice on the opposite leg, any pain, any stiffness, any discomfort, especially comparing left to right. Like I notice in general, this is easier for me to balance on my right leg. My left leg's a little bit more unstable. And time. All right, so we're going to shake those legs out. We're going to add in one more piece for the lower body. And then we're going to get a little bit more rotation going into the mix. So what we're going to do here, Rosie and everybody at home, if you're following, we're going to get a nice wide stance. And we're going to do, you can call this a side lunge or a Cossack squat is sometimes what it's referred to as, but we're not going to do it for the strength component. We're going to do it more for range of motion. So all I want us to do is we're going to shift our hips to the left while keeping our right leg straight, getting a nice stretch. Come back up to the center. We're going to go the opposite way, shifting our weight to the right, left leg is straight. So we're just shifting this back and forth, and we're doing this for 30 seconds. Yes, exactly. Talk to me, Rosie. How's that feeling? Any pain, any discomfort with that?
No, no pain.
Good. And again, we can go as far as you feel as long as the stretch. I can feel my hamstrings and my adductors getting tight here. So I'm going as far as I can. And then each rep, I'm trying to just go a little bit further to activate up some of the muscles around my hips while simultaneously getting a nice stretch on the opposite leg. We'll go one more time each side. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Boom, and rest. All right, so now we're going to kind of shake it out. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to bring it down to our feet. Check out what the feet are doing here, y'all. So we're going to just basically do a heel-toe rock. So I'm going to go from a side profile. I'm going to get onto my heels. I'm going to get onto my toes. We're just rocking this back and forth, and we're going to do this. This one we're going to do for 1 minute. And the goal here is, again, I'm going to do it from the front profile, getting our calves fired up, but we also want the muscles by our shin, our anterior tibialis, to fire up as well. All the fancy words, all the fancy names. Good. So how was it like being able to play outside after all that snow, Rosie? Like I saw you guys were getting out, getting in the yard.
Oh my God, it was so nice to just like fresh air and like some warmth. Like it's a little annoying because like now we have like so much mud. So with the dogs, it's crazy, and even with the kids, but still, like just, not having 17,000 layers on is nice.
Yeah, right. Just being able to like feel some aspect of sun when it's not also snowing. We got 10 more seconds here. And then I always like to ask, are you feeling this at all in your calves? Do you feel it in your ankles? Do you feel it in your shins at all? Like, do you have any? And again,
Yeah,
it doesn't
feel it in my calves.
And time. All right, so now we're just going to shake it out again. Let's take about 30 seconds to grab a sip of water. And now we're going to get set up for our first superset. So the first thing we're going to do, a superset is a fancy way of saying we're going to take 2 exercises. We're going to do one after the other. And for our program today, again, this is a total body, but it's also pretty like lower body core dominant. So we're going to do what we call a 3D lunge, and then we're going to do a bear crawl or bear plank variation. So Rosie, I'm going to show you both of these first.
Okay.
And we're going to go through a couple different variations, and then we'll take it from there. So for our 3D lunge, it basically means we're going into 3 directions. So we're going to step forward lunge, come back. We're pushing back, especially when we lunge. I want you to really focus on pushing yourself back as much as possible. Then we're going to go to the side. So we're doing that lateral lunge, similar to what we were doing in our warm-up. Taking a step off to the side, getting our weight over that leg as much as we can, then pushing ourselves back. And then we're going to go straight back into a reverse lunge where we're actually, that lead leg is doing a little bit more of the body weight work. And our right glute is doing that, like squeezing to kick the leg back. So that's the 3 directions, why we call it a 3D lunge. And we're going to do that for 6 reps, and then we'll switch sides. Once we're done with that, we're going to bring it down to the ground, and we're going to go into a bear plank, which is what I want you to actually start with, Rosie, first round, everyone warming up if you're doing this with us. First round, what we're doing is you're going to kind of get into our quadruped position or our bird dog or whatever you want to call it, or let's say like cat cow, but we're just going to lift those knees off the ground for a second, come back down. We're going to do that for 10 to 20 reps. And then we will pause for about 30 to 60 seconds and repeat that. Okay. I'm going to pause there to see. Talk to me about any questions.
No, I think I'm pretty good at it's lunge forward and lunging to the side. So it's just a matter of trying to, keep going back and forth. Would you move? As
Yes.
soon as I get anywhere near the floor, one of them is
Yeah, they're going to want to interact and they're going to want to play. So that's the thing too, is being mindful of our space. And here's the other thing I will say is like, go as deep as you can without pain or discomfort. The first round and each rep will start to get a little bit more range of motion. But if you feel like you can't go all the way down where our knee touches, that's okay. But again, we're going to go forwards, go out to the side, go back. I'll do it along with us. And we're going to try and sequence it together where I'm going to try and count. Let me just move this actually. And I'm going to position us for myself. So A, you guys can see. But B, I'll have room to be able to like lunge through this.
No.
They're like, yes, I want to be a part of this, please.
They were too quiet for too long.
Yeah, they're like, what's going on? All right, so we're going to take that lunge forward, control, we're pushing back. Now we're going to go out to the side, get a nice stretch, push back, coming backwards, and then come up. All right, so there's one. Now we're going forwards again, pushing up, out to the side, and then back. There's two. Now we're going forwards again, out to the side. Then we're going back. There's three. Now we're going. I want to make sure I can see you because I'm a little like far out. Forwards. Four. To the side. Four. We're going back. Four. This is also a helpful exercise. See who can count. Let's see if I can count. 5. We're going back. 5. We're going one more time around. 6. 6. And 6. So now we're just going to switch those legs. We're doing the same thing, but with the opposite leg now. How'd that feel, by the way, Rose? That looks solid.
Not bad, not bad. I'd still gotta work on like, the balancing and stuff but it's not bad. Like, I definitely feel like I've gotten a little bit better over the last couple of weeks with, working out and stuff. So
yeah, and again,
there's room for improvement, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, that's why, and to your point, like I like doing the individual legs to like continuously stimulate balance too in progress. So now we're going that front leg, left leg's going forwards. We're pushing back. We're gonna go out to the side. Just enough room. And then we're going back. All right, that's one. And this is just to go to show you can kind of make this happen in almost any space. We're going forwards. Now we're going out to the side. Oh, yeah. Get that good stretch. And back. There's 2. We're going forwards again. To the side. Oh, yeah. And back. See, even there, I lost my balance a little bit. Going forwards. 4. To the side.
It's the multitasking of thinking about it and counting.
Yeah. And 4. And like looking around, make sure I'm not going to hit anything. That's the bigger thing. Yeah. Here's a fun trick for proprioception, body spatial awareness. We're going forwards 5. If you look around while you're moving and balancing on one leg, it'll challenge your vestibular system or your balancing system. So being able to like look around adds another layer. Here's 6. Going forwards. Last time around. Out to the side. And then now we're going straight back. Boom. All right, so we're going to shake that out. Now, we are going to go down to the ground for our bear crawl variation or our bear plank variation, which is a fancy way of saying, again, we're getting on all 4s, and we're going to, let's see if I can position. There we go. Trying to like position myself for all the cameras too. Again, we're going to try and have our hands under our shoulders, knees right under our hips, so we're in a nice kind of 90-degree position. We're going to just bring our knees off the ground for like an inch, come back down. And we'll do that for 10 to 20 reps. So we start with 10. I would say stop at 10. If you start to feel challenging, we're going to try and go as far as we can, though. You ready, doggies?
Yeah. He's doing his yoga right now.
Yeah, he's like, come on. All right, right? And we're up and down. That's 1. We're up and down. There's 2. Up down, there's 3. I'm going to face it forward so I can see as well, and you guys can see. Up and down, there's 4. Up and down, there's 5. Up, down, there's 6. Up, 7. Up, 8. Up, 9. One more time. Up and 10. All right. So we're going to take about 30 to 60 seconds to rest. We're going to go through that for 3 rounds. Talk to me, Rosie. Any pain and discomfort? Especially, I like to be mindful of the wrists there. How the wrists feel?
It's not too bad. My feet almost like almost like it goes like my right goes to sleep a little bit, or like
Ooh.
I don't know, it gets tingly.
Oh yeah, okay, so that's super helpful.
Come up here. So it's like I don't know if it's like what is that when they do it? Come sit. No, walk.
You can have it be like neurologically oriented, where you have like maybe a nerve either being pinched somewhere up the chain. Could be related to like back or hip things. It could also just be our positioning and foot placement and weight placement. So I can, when we do that again, where with your feet, what can be helpful is getting a little bit wider and your knees a little bit closer to your chest. We're like tucking them under to get a little bit more of that flexion in your ankle. And we'll see how that feels. And if not, we can always adjust the positioning. But with that being said, I pretty much talked through the whole rest period. Classic. So now we're going to bring it back up to our feet. So we're going round number 2. Again, we're going for our 3D lunge. Now, here's the cool thing. If you guys want to add resistance, whether it's with bands, kettlebell, or a dumbbell, you can always add resistance or like a weighted vest like I have on. You could either hold a kettlebell in front of your chest, in front of your legs, or you can add the bands. Traditionally, when we add resistance with bands, I like to have an anchor. So we would anchor it to it. So I'm going to kind of show you guys that with an anchored position here. And we'll work from there. For this one, Rosie, I would say you can keep it without the band. I just want to kind of demo it with an anchored band here, just so we kind of have it. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
So notice I'm going to have the weight. We can also step on the band and have it move with us. If you're not as familiar, though, sometimes stepping on the band, the long loop especially, can be tricky. That's why we have our short loop bands. I just didn't bring them in for this workout. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cross them, keep it on my hip, and we're going to try and actually work through this lunge in this position as well, so you guys can kind of see how the band works. So now, again, we're going to go back up to our feet, and we're going to go into that forward lunge. We're going to go into a side lunge and a back lunge. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of work through to see how this feels. So you guys can kind of ask questions if you want to, make sure I don't have anything behind me. And boom. All right. And thank you for the follow on Amazon. I can't really see that close. Hold on, let me check the name. I got you. Oh, what's up, Dragon Blogger? I see you, PC Phil. What's up, homie? If you guys are on Amazon, also make sure you're following them too. It's a great channel. Friday indeed. Oh, yeah, it's Friday the 13th too. That's a great point. All right.
Yeah, it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I completely forgot. We're going to have a fun movie night theme tonight. Let's go through again. The 3D lunges are going to get 6 reps. We're going front first.
Okay.
Got 1. We're going to go out to the side. And we're going straight back. As I hit into Carrie's. No, sorry, Carrie. All right, that's 1. Let's get 2.
You're doing the left, right, no.
You can go on right or left. Whichever side you start with, it's fine. We'll end up switching them anyway.
I had to put the dogs in the bedroom so that I could
yeah, be able to. Sorry, I started with that. I got excited, Rosie. We're going back. Good. There's 3. Going forwards again. There's 4. 4. 4. Let's get 5. 5. 5. One more time around. 6. 6. And 6. So now we're going to the opposite leg. How's your foot feeling, by the way, Rosie?
That's fine now. It's just, I think, like, after a while being on maybe my knees and doing the bear claw, it was it, but other than that, it doesn't hurt like I have no numbness right now.
Good. All right. I just want to see like in what positions and where we're moving to see what exacerbates it. Okay. So now we're going the opposite side. Again, we're going forwards. Get that lunge. We're going out to the side. Ooh, I'm so loud. Back. Got one. We're going forwards. We're going to the side. And back. There's two. Forwards. Going to the side. Yeah, this is where I will say the short loop bands are the move that we have in our pack versus the long loop. I'm going to probably adjust these. So check it out. What we can do is I can just overlap them and put them around my legs like they're a short loop style. And this is kind of the move. So now I'm having just banded resistance on my thighs. So we're going, again, forward, out to the side, and straight back. There's our 4. Now we're going 5. Out to the side, and straight back. One more time. We got 6 going forward, to the side, and straight back. All right, so now we're going to bring it down to the ground. Now, what I'm going to play with for you, Rosie, I want to play with some of that foot positioning, how your foot and ankle may feel here. What I'm also going to do is add a layer for those at home if you want to play with the resistance. I'm going to show you guys how you integrate the band. So we're going to basically just add the band. You can either anchor it under your knees or behind your thighs. It's more comfortable under your knees. I'm going to put it behind my thighs, though, because I want a little bit more activation for my shoulders. So I'm making this kind of like X pattern. And we're going to, again, go through right here, that lift off style. And what, again, for you, Rosie, what I want to do is I want to see if I can get your knees closer to your chest to see how that feels. And then we'll try and tuck those feet under a little bit more and see how that pressure feels. And if we need to, you could always walk it back. So we can play with walking them in or walking them out. All right, ready? Let's bring it up and down. Good. And then let me know as we end up, down, got 2, up, down, there's 3, up and down, there's 4, up and down, 5, up, down, 6, up, down, there's 7, up and down, there's 8, 2 more, up, down, 9, one more time, up and down, there's 10. So now I just want to check in, Rosie. How's that feeling on your feet? It's okay if we're feeling it. We can make adjustments. Curious.
But with my knees higher up, it doesn't seem as like I was getting the numbness I was getting. So I think this position, keeping it on the higher side.
All right, awesome. So we're going to take, again, a rest for about 30 to 60 seconds. And also sometimes what happens is as we go through the first round into the second round, the tissue itself will just get warmer and it'll start to just feel a little bit less tight if that's what's contributing. That's making some assumptions of what could be contributing to it. But as you guys, I don't know if you're like feeling, I'm already like my heart rate's kind of getting up there. A little bit How are you feeling though, Rosie? You feeling the body temperature coming up? Feeling
oh yeah, I definitely feel warmer, even with the fan on.
Nice. And this is, to me, the big thing is, I mean, we can go really, really hard. It doesn't mean there's not a time and a place for it. But even in our like progression of where we're at in our training is think about everything you have in front of you today. I don't want our workout to be draining us for the rest of the day. We want a proper stimulus and a proper resistance level so we can still get results, right? But still wanting to have energy left over for the day in front of us, especially for my parents out there, right? Like Rosie, that's why we're here. You know, it's yes, we're going to have challenge, but we want it to the point where it's not going to be that draining. But with that being said, I talked through the whole minute. Rosie, what do you think? You got one more in the tank? We're going to try and shoot for 3 here.
We could do another set. Ooh.
Nice. Okay. So we're going to go back up. I'm going to adjust the band position again. I'm going to show you guys another option here. Instead of having it again where you're holding it, we're going to kind of like double loop with them. And what I'm going to do is just put them around my ankles now. So you're going to kind of, and the cool thing about having the bands in this position is when we go through it, my whole job when you have bands like this is keeping tension in the bands. So if I come back too loose, see that? I'm not keeping the tension, and that's the goal for this. That adds another layer for our hips. If you want to, Rosie, you can add the bands in here as well, But I would say, like, depending on how you're feeling, we could just leave it body weight, to be honest with you.
Okay. I'll leave it this time, and then I'll add them next time, and then we'll see
Yeah,
what that.
especially the balancing component. I really want you to focus on getting the balance and feeling really comfortable with that stability first and foremost. Then we can always add the bands, but we don't really need that right now. So with that being said, I'm going to start with our right leg first.
Okay.
Our right leg's going to come out in front and back. We're going to go out to the side. And then we're taking that big step back. Now notice even on that one, I'm kind of like keeping some slack there. That's now I'm going to keep the tension. Just want to keep tension in these bands. Good. Out to the side and back. We're going front. Just 3. This is the only drawback, and out to the side, of wearing like shorts. The bands don't have as much to grip onto, so they're kind of sliding and moving. And up. So now we're going to go back to the front. 4. To the side, 4, and back. Yeah, see, that's the only thing I don't love about being here. I'm going to move up just a bit. We're going to the front, 5, out to the side, and straight back. You got one more time around. Going to the front, to the side, and straight back. Beautiful. So there's 6 on each leg. Now we're going to the left leg. We're switching those legs. I'm going to move up a little bit. And again, notice what I'm doing, and even Rosie, I want you to try and mimic this without the bands, is think about keeping some tension in your legs by driving your legs out. When we step back to center, sometimes they want to chill. I want you to think about really like driving your knees somewhat out and over your toes. So they're not only pulling them apart as if there were a band there, but you're kind of going out at an angle, if that makes sense. Okay, so now let's go with that left leg forwards. We're going out to the side, and then we're going straight back. There's 1. Again, we got 6. 2. To the side. 2. And back. Boom, there's 2. We're going forwards. 3. To the side. And back. We're going forwards. Here's 4. To the side. And back. Nice, Rosie. Forwards. To the side. And back. One more time around. Forwards. To the side. And back. Awesome job. So now we'll bring it down to the ground for our last on the superset. And again, we're going to do some liftoffs. So the caveat, again, I will say for the liftoffs, when you're doing your bands, is when you lift them off and you anchor them around your wrists, there's going to be a tendency for them to want to slide and come out. So that's why I like behind the hamstrings a little bit more, even though it's a little bit more uncomfortable. Or you could do 1 and 1, like 1 behind your hamstring, 1 on your knee. But for now, we're going to keep it behind the hamstring. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to challenge you here, Rosie.
Okay.
This is our last round.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go as many reps as you can, getting close to 20. If you can do 12, great. 15, great. 20, great. 10, great. I don't care what it is, but I want you to do as many reps as you can. Unless you get to 20, then you stop. Okay?
Okay.
And that's going to be the same challenge I'm going to give everybody at home. This is what we call AMRAP, as many reps as possible. But we're kind of having a cap with 20. So we're going to go at our own pace here. So I want you to go up and down on your own rhythm. But the big thing I want to keep in mind for you, Rosie, is, again, knees closer to your chest so that you can kind of get those toes flared or flexed under you and hopefully taking some of that pain out. Okay? And when you're ready, we'll go for it. I'm going to keep my own count. You guys keep your own count. And again, we're going anywhere from 10 to 20, trying to get as high as we can to 20. And let's rock it. I always love watching the beads of sweat just drip off my face. So exciting. The only drawback is on the rug. All right. So now again, we're going to take a 1 minute rest here. We're going to do a little check-in, see where we're at. So kudos. How was our first superset? How are we doing, by the way, Rosie?
Good. I did all 20. It took a little bit, but did all
Good.
20.
How is it feeling? Where, if at all, if you don't mind me asking, do you feel it the most?
I don't know, like definitely probably like my leg, knee area, I guess. I could feel it when I'm lifting. I guess like the, up and down, but probably a little bit of everywhere.
Okay. So that's super helpful. And the reason I was asking just to see where we kind of feel, not only muscles working, but where there might even be some fatigue and opportunity to grow. So that helps just on how I'm going to keep building our program, because this is going to be the last phase of our current program. I'm going to put an update in for next week. So we're going to go into a new phase after this week, by the way, Rosie. I hope you're
okay.
Excited and or ready, and or maybe none of those things. That's okay too. So with that being said, what we're going to explore, we're going to build on, is our next superset is probably going to be our final one that we're going to bring it home with, just for timing reasons, because I do want to try and keep it into like that 45-minute window. We're going to do a combo. So we're going to do or what we would call super band thruster. So it's basically a squat to a shoulder press. Do you remember when we were doing our workshop at Joshua Tree, where I had to squat and then press? That's pretty much what we're going to be doing here with the bands. So again, we can bust out. Do you have the bands like somewhere accessible around you?
Yeah, I think they're right over here, unless somebody moved them on me.
Which in the house with your family and kids, you never know. That's I've learned. And again, as we're going through this, guys, if you have questions, feel free to let me know. You can do it with bands, you can do this without bands, you can do it dumbbells, kettlebells, any kind of resistance, or just, again, body weight. If you are only doing body weight, oh yeah, we got those bands. And if we don't have, let's say you don't have resistance for whatever reason, what you can do is slow down the movement. In general, the cue I have in this one is slow and controlled, but a great prompt is 5 seconds on the way down, 5 seconds on the way up. If that still feels easy, you can go all the way up to like 8 or 10 seconds. And if you're able to do like 15 to 20 reps with an 8-centric to 10-second slowly going down, slowly going up, then you definitely want to explore a way to either do a different movement or add resistance. But we'll get into that. And I don't think anyone here is going to have that. Now, with that being said, the first round. So, Rosie, do you remember what you did at the retreat? Like what band you used? I think I saw you going up to red. Was it yellow or red? I don't want to miss it.
I think I used yellow. Right. I think I used yellow.
So we're going to bring it to yellow. And what I'm going to have you do is, again, our first round, we're going to try and go. So this is kind of the opposite of what we just did on our first superset, because now our body's warm and now we are really firing things up. The goal for this one, and you guys are going to see, so I have the black band, which is, they're all the same, just goes up in resistance, but I've just clipped on a set of handles. You don't actually have to use the handles. I just actually like having the handles because it gives me an extra cue to pull the bands apart. So you don't have to throw the handles on if you don't want to, Rosie. If you do want to clip the handles on, that's fine. It's easier to not have the handles on. I just personally put them on to like give it a pull apart kind of component. And we're going to rack it up in front of our chest. So again, the idea here is we're going down, nice, slow and controlled, and then we're going to come up relatively controlled, and we're pressing it overhead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my camera up so you guys can kind of see that pressing from my hips to my shoulders. And we're going to go for as many reps as we can get, but capping it at 20. So if you can do 8, 10, 12, 15, 20, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But I want you to shoot for as many reps as you can on the first round. Now that we're nice and warm, we're going to try and go for 20. Okay, so we're going slow and controlled. I'll kind of give you guys a preview on the first one, just nice, slow and controlled, and then driving up. Again, notice how slow and controlled this movement is. All right, you ready, Rosie? You ready to rock it?
Yeah.
Ready at home? Get it. And we're on our own count now. I want you on your own count. You're keeping track of your reps. And same thing for you guys at home and following along. gotta make sure I don't hit my fan over here. We're gonna try to get nice and deep into those hips. So I'm trying to get nice and as low as possible. Like I try and shoot for when I get into this kind of front rack position where my hands are up on my shoulders. I try and get my elbows to touch my thighs. That tends to be a good cue for me. The only drawback to doing that, sometimes we want to like hinge forward to cheat to help with our range of motion. So trying to have big posture, big chest. This isn't just for you, this is for everybody. I'm just doing a more general prompt now. But big chest and using your elbows as the indicator of how deep we get into that squat. How's that feeling, Rosie?
Oh, I feel it. I lost count at this point, though.
I hear it's distracting. So I would say I'm already at 12, so you got to be close to the end. 13. Here's 16 for me. So you got to be getting close there. Let's see. $18. 17. Got one more. Boom, there's 20. All right, so we're gonna, again, supersets. Great job, by the way, y'all. So what we're gonna do is we are going to do a glute bridge. So for this, we're gonna go down to the ground. I'm gonna bring you guys down here with me. I'm gonna check our angle. And again, we have a couple different ways we can play with resistance on this one, particularly for this one, because I want to invite our not only glutes to work, but being able to have the hip flexors with them. That's a fancier saying. Watch how we're going to kind of combine this. So for this, I'm going to try and bring, let's see if I can find the right angle here. When we position this, I'm going to try and get my hips to be the key thing you see. In a glute bridge, we want to try and have the foot position so when we're up top, it's about 90 degrees. If we're too far away, we're going to get a little bit more of our hamstrings. If it's too far in, we're going to get a little too much of the quad. So we want to kind of want that perfect middle ground, about 90 degrees. And what we're going to do to add to this is we are going to do a glute bridge where we lift the hips up. And we're going to march, bring it back down. Okay? So Rosie, I want to see you just try one. Let me just see how that looks and feels to be protective of your knee. That's the only thing I want to be mindful of. Nice. This is, yeah, nice. Great control. Beautiful. And rest. How'd that feel on the knee? How'd that feel on the foot and ankle?
It's fine. Doesn't feel, nothing hurts.
So that's what we're going to shoot for. We're going to go for 10 reps on that one, okay? Really 6 to 10. So we could stop at 6, but I really want to invite you to go to 10. I know you got this. So we're just going to say 10, okay? Because my head's kind of hidden behind this cabinet over here, I'm going to count it out loud, but I might not be able to see you. All right? So we're going up, march, down. There's 1. Up, march. There's 2. Down. Bring it up. March. There's 3. Down. Up. March. There's 4. And down. Up. March. And down. There's 5. And up. March. There's 6. And down. Up. March. And down. There's 7. Yeah, Rosie. And up. March. There's 8. And down. Bring it up. March. And down. There's 9. One more time. Up. March. And down. There's 10. Booyah. How did that feel?
Good. The
Okay.
challenge is lifting your leg up after you do but it's good. It doesn't hurt.
That's the key. That's exactly what presents the most challenge, in my humble opinion, is when you have to stabilize with one leg while your other leg is doing the march. So yes, we get hip flexor, but you get even more challenge on your glute on the opposite side and ankle stability as well. So it's a cool progression because eventually what we're going to get you to, Rosie, is where you're going to be doing one leg at a time, where your one leg will be holding and driving your hips up and marching at the same time. But first we have both feet down, lift the hips, march, march. That's part of the progression. But I've been kind of talking through the whole rest period here. We're going to take another 15 seconds. We're going to do one more round of this back and forth.
Okay.
And we're going to slowly cool it down and bring it home from there. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Good work. So since we did as many reps as possible in the first one, now we're going to kind of, again, use that as our standard or our like indicator. We're going to shoot for 12 to 15 on this next one. So you just follow along with me. I can see with the reps and the control you have in the tank, you'll be able to just perfectly follow along with me. And same thing for everybody at home though. So whatever rep you were at, you're going to take about 20% off for this next round. Or naturally, if you pushed as hard as you could for that first round, you might see up to a potential 20% drop. So since we did 20, we'll shoot for about 15. If that still feels really easy, we might go to 20 again. But I have a feeling, based on just knowing my own body and our human progression, that 15 should be a nice spot for us. And if you did, let's say 12, being able to do 10 at home will work well for you as well. So in our bands, I talked through the whole thing. We'll line it up. And again, the goal is nice range of motion. We're trying to get nice and deep into our squats and have control on the way down as well as on the way up.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Move this up. Hold on.
Right? Like here we are. Now we'll get our band. And then when you're ready, you tell me, Rose, you get yourself situated, get yourself set, and then we will rock this puppy together. And again, this is our last round of both of these. This is where we get to bring it home.
All right, I think so.
Okay, so now again, nice slow on the way down. We're just trying to get full range of motion. And then we're bringing it up. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it on the second round. How you feeling, Rosie?
Oh, I feel it. But it's good. I want to feel something.
That's right.
Then I could be sore later and be happy I did something.
Feel that body. We'll still have some energy hopefully left in the tank for the rest of it. So you got stuff down today, right?
Yeah, I have a couple of things I have and a podcast later.
Nice.
So.
You got the podcast with Gina?
No, this is for another company called Blaze.
Oh, nice. Shout out to Blaze. Do you know what you're talking about yet?
I have no idea. She kind of has been talking about to different like business owners and local content creators. So it might be something along the lines of that because Blaze is an app to kind of connect businesses with content creators, and so it'll probably be along.
There's our 15. Good job. Good job, Rosie.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to bring it down to the ground one more time. One more round. Get our final round of our glute bridges. Again, we're going for 8 reps now for our glute bridge and march. And then we're just going to do a little bit of stretching, and we'll bring it home from there. So I'm going to give a kind of secondary angle. Since the first time I was showing more of what my feet and hips are doing, I'm going to show a little bit more of like what my hips and shoulders are doing in this position. So again, we're trying to position where we get that 90 degrees. Rosie, you ready to rock it? We'll go.
I'm ready.
All right, so
As
we're
many.
march, march, and down. And then the big thing I want to invite everyone is really drive and up, driving those hips up, actively squeezing your butt. I noticed I was getting a little lazy on that. But I'm just kind of talking to myself here. And down. There's 2. So we're going up, march, and march. Down. There's 3. Up, march, march. There's 4. And up, march, march, and down. There's 5. Up, march, march, and down. There's 6. And up, march, march, and down. There's 7. Last one. Up, march, march, and down. There's 8. And boo. Yeah. Yeah, Rosie. Yeah, everyone. I'm going to take my weighted vest off now. We got perfect timing. We're like pretty much right at 45 minutes for a little like getting through our warm up, getting it situated. We're going to take about a minute here. Just let the heart rate come down a little bit. Then we're going to go through a little bit of a static stretch to help lengthen out our tissue. And then we'll be on our way for the rest of the day. Rosie, thanks for making it happen today with me. I know like I've had to around the last couple of weeks. Thanks everybody for tuning in as well. Again, bookmark this and save it. You can follow along. That's what's cool to me about the body doubling is if you just have a reference on like a video call or something like that and follow along, your motivation goes up with it. We see it time and time again. When I say we, I mean like people in the research space, though there's journals to back this and seeing the impact, especially for our neurodivergent or ADHD oriented peeps, but really for everyone, it can be very motivating. And yeah, Rosie, I'm curious, like, do you have anything going down to share? Either events that you have? We have the podcast coming up, so people can be on the lookout for that. Obviously, guys, make sure you're always following Rosie and myself on all the platforms here. What if anything's going down in the next couple of months?
Well, I think we have a lot of events coming up, and then I just did my live with Gina. Was it a week ago? I think now. So I'm waiting for the approval so that I could try to show up on live a little bit more.
Nice.
But it's been a very busy couple 3 months. I don't know how we're even in March, honestly, but I know there's a lot coming up.
Yeah.
It's always busy.
For sure. So yeah, to your point, like if like just think about it's been a month since the retreat. So
yeah, it's insane. I don't like it feels like we just got back, but we didn't.
I know. I feel like that like an eternity ago at the same time as like it was just yesterday, if that makes sense. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of let our body cool down. But here's my favorite thing to do, especially when we're short on time, or we want to be time efficient, I should say. We're not in a rush. We're just going to lay back. We're going to do corpse pose, kind of from yoga. So you're just going to let your legs relax at your side. Your arms are going to relax at your side. And what we're going to do here is for 1 minute, I'm going to set our timer. We're just going to breathe into our body, nice, slow, and controlled. In through the nose, and then out through the mouth. And the goal is however long we're breathing in, we're going to try and exhale for twice as long. So if you're breathing in from anywhere from 2 to 4 seconds, you're exhaling for 4 to 8. And I want you to go up through your body, starting at your feet, working your way up to ankles, and start to relax all your tissue. Start to let your body know you can relax. It's done working. Got about 10 more seconds here. All right, now we'll slowly just start to kind of like wiggle those toes and legs and either roll up, or sometimes I find it helpful if we want to go onto our side. Kind of push ourselves up, depending on where your body's at and how it feels. Either way, awesome job. Rosie, I see you crushing it.
Yeah, we're trying.
Doing. It's not trying, you're doing. And I appreciate you. Thanks for letting me be a part of like your journey, and everyone following, watching at any stage of it. You're coming in replay or watching it live. Thank you for joining along. Again, follow, subscribe. I'll be back for office hours on Tuesday next week at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then next Saturday, We have a sponsored collaborative stream that I'm going to be doing March 21st at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be getting into some like just my new updated supplement routine and how I got off some medication. I'm going to talk about the impact from taking that medication out of my routine, what I'm doing supplement wise, how I've even incorporated sea moss gel and some other components to that, and where things are at. But that being said, I'll leave it there. Again, make sure you guys are following Rosie. Rosie, do you have anything else you want to like plug or promote before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm pretty much on all platforms as Inked Wellness Mombi. I might be changing that name, but you'll find me there, Rosemary. And we have a lot of events going up. I'm trying to get to be more live on some of my accounts. And like I said, I'm waiting for Amazon to approve me, but I have a storefront on Amazon. I do a little bit of everything. So local reviews if you're in New York. If you're in New York, there are a lot of events coming up that aren't virtual, but if you're interested, you can reach out to me. Some for networking. So, always trying to plug in people to connections. So, and thank you, Mike, for always, encouraging me, sending me tips and tricks, helping me with working out, because I definitely have noticed a difference since starting in January, just like the changing how my clothes feel. So, and that's like the energy and the changing in clothes is so important that I don't care too much about the scale.
Yeah. And it's been awesome to be a part of it. And I appreciate you entrusting me. And with that being said, time to jump into the rest of what we got going on for the day. So, Rosie, I'll shoot you a message later. Everybody, see you on the next one. And later, y'all. Cheers, everybody.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Bye, Mike. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, Rosie.
Bye.